Living alone after 60 is something many people quietly grow into. For some, it comes after the loss of a spouse. For others, it's the natural result of grown children moving away or a change in life's direction. And while solitude can be peaceful, even comforting, it can also feel heavy, especially in the quiet hours. But here's something often overlooked. Living alone doesn't mean living without joy. It simply means you have more space to shape your world from the inside out. The human brain, even after 60, 70, or 80, is still incredibly responsive. In fact, with just a few small, thoughtful changes in your daily habits, you can actually begin to rewire your brain for more peace, more energy, and yes, more happiness. In this video, we'll explore 5 simple habits that can bring new light to your everyday life. You don't need expensive therapy or a busy social calendar. Just a little intention, a little heart, and a few minutes each day. These aren't magic tricks. They're gentle shifts backed by science, real-life stories, and most importantly, compassion for where you are right now. Let's begin with the first habit that can help reshape your mornings and your mindset. Start the day with a personal morning ritual. Mornings can be the loneliest time for someone living alone. There's no movement in the hallway, no smell of coffee from another room, no one to say good morning to. But this quiet moment, the very start of your day, holds surprising power. That's why one of the most transformative habits you can build is a gentle morning ritual that belongs just to you. Something small, consistent, and grounding. It doesn't have to be fancy. It only has to feel like a quiet gift you give yourself. For Olivia, age 72, mornings used to feel slow and heavy. After her husband passed, she often stayed in bed until late, with little motivation to get up. Then one day she started something simple, lighting a small candle, pouring a cup of tea, and writing down 3 things she was grateful for, even if it was just warm socks or sunlight through the window. That little ritual became her anchor. Over time, she noticed her mood lifted, her energy returned, and the mornings became something to look forward to again. A personal ritual tells your brain, we have purpose, we're alive, we're starting fresh. Even 5 peaceful minutes can spark a brighter day. Habit number 2, speak kindly to yourself out loud. When you live alone, most of the words you hear each day are the ones you say to yourself. And over time, those words quietly shape how you feel about life, about aging, and about yourself. That's why this habit may feel simple, but it's powerful. Speak to yourself out loud and make it kind. You might think it sounds silly, but science tells us that the brain responds to spoken words differently than just thoughts. When you say something aloud, especially something positive or encouraging, your brain registers it as real. It creates a physical shift in your emotional state, even if you don't believe the words at first. At age 76, Henry spent years criticizing himself every time he forgot something or moved more slowly than he used to. One day he heard someone say, "Would you talk to your best friend that way?" That hit him hard, so he began a small, new habit. Each morning after brushing his teeth, he'd say to his reflection, "I've got this, I'm doing okay." At first it felt strange, but over time those words softened his heart, and his days felt lighter. Try it. Say something out loud today that your younger self needed to hear, because kindness, especially toward yourself, never loses its power. Habit number 3, keep one daily social connection. Living alone after 60 can bring a lot of stillness, and while peace and quiet are beautiful, too much isolation can start to weigh on the heart. The truth is, our brains are wired for connection, even in the smallest doses. You don't need long conversations or big social gatherings. Sometimes just one meaningful moment of connection a day is enough to lift your mood and rewire your brain for happiness. Research shows that even short social interactions, like a friendly hello, a phone call, or a message to someone you love, can increase serotonin and oxytocin, the feel-good chemicals that support emotional health. Take Teresa, age 69. She lives alone and doesn't go out much, especially since retirement. But every morning she sends a voice note to her niece. Just a cheerful greeting, sometimes sharing what she's making for breakfast or a quick memory from the past. It takes less than 5 minutes, but it makes her feel seen and connected. And more often than not, the message brings a warm reply. Your daily connection might be a neighbor, a cashier, a sibling, or a grandchild. What matters most is the feeling it gives you. I still belong. I still matter. I'm not alone. That feeling, it's healing, and it's powerful. Before we go further, my dear seniors, if this conversation has touched you, let me know by tapping the like button. Also, subscribe to this channel, Elderly Person Diary. It tells me today's topic matters to you or someone close to you. Your subscription plants a seed in this garden of wisdom. With your support, we'll keep turning pages of time together. Now, back to what really matters. Habit number 4. Do one thing that feeds your curiosity. Happiness isn't just about comfort, it's also about engagement. And one of the most effective ways to stay mentally sharp and emotionally fulfilled after 60 is to stay curious. Your brain is like a garden. It thrives when it's being fed new ideas, new questions, and small doses of wonder. Even if you live alone, your mind doesn't have to feel lonely. It can still explore, grow, and light up with interest. You don't need to go back to school or take on a big project. Feeding your curiosity can be simple. Watching a documentary, reading a short article, trying a new recipe, sketching something you saw outside, learning one new fact a day. Charles is 74 now. He had always loved nature but never really took the time to study it. One day he started watching a 10-minute bird documentary after breakfast. That small habit opened up a whole world. He began sketching the birds he saw and even hung a feeder outside his window. His days had more meaning, not because they were busy, but because they were alive with interest. Curiosity doesn't fade with age. In fact, it can keep your spirit youthful and your brain more resilient. When you nurture your curiosity, you give your mind something to look forward to, and that's a form of joy. Habit number 5, end the day with a joy memory reflection. The way you end your day matters, not just for your sleep, but for your heart. One of the most underrated but powerful habits for emotional well-being is to pause each night and recall one joyful moment from your day. Big or small, a kind word, a tasty meal, a bird outside your window, a moment of stillness. Why is this so powerful? Because the human brain, especially as we age, tends to hold on to the negative, the aches, the worries, the regrets. But when we intentionally focus on positive moments, we help retrain the brain to notice beauty, connection, and gratitude again. Doris, age 80, began a bedtime practice where she would sit quietly, close her eyes, and whisper to herself, "What was one good moment today?" At first it was hard. Some days felt too ordinary or lonely. But then she noticed the warmth of her tea, the sound of the radio, a phone call with her sister. These moments began to add up, and her nights felt gentler. Her sleep even improved. This is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about reminding yourself that not everything is hard. Your mind listens closely at night. Feed it something kind. A memory of joy is like a soft blanket. It wraps you in peace as the day comes to a close. Living alone after 60 doesn't mean you have to feel alone. It simply opens a new chapter, one where you get to decide how to care for your mind, your heart, and your daily joy. The 5 habits we shared today may seem small, but together they can help rewire your brain for happiness, one quiet day at a time. At Elderly Person Diary, we believe your later years can be rich with meaning, even in the stillness. If any of these habits spoke to you, let us know in the comments. Which one will you try this week? And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your story matters. Your happiness still matters. And we're here with you.